Hi, this is John Girardi with Right to Life of Central California, bringing you another in our series of daily videos for 40 Days for Life. 40 Days for Life is an international campaign of prayer and presence outside of abortion clinics throughout the country and throughout the world. If you want to learn more about our campaign or get involved, you can go to rtlcc.org or you can give us a call at 559-229-2229. Today we're going to talk about a kind of interesting electoral issue, which is the filibuster rule in the Senate, which is going to have a big impact on abortion policy. The last few days, we've talked about various things that people on the pro-choice side of the aisle really want to do if Vice President Biden is elected president and if Democrats take control of the Senate. They want to pack the United States Supreme Court, add more justices so that the court will be more ideologically aligned with the pro-choice side and will not overturn Roe v. Wade. We've talked about the idea of passing a nationwide law to make New York's abortion laws more or less applicable to the entire country writ large. The only way that this can be done is if Democrats, one, take a large majority in the Senate, and two, eliminate this thing called the filibuster rule. In the Senate, debate can theoretically go on forever. And the only way you can end debate on most topics is by invoking this thing called cloture, C-L-O-T-U-R-E. Cloture means the closing of debate. The only way you can stop debate in the Senate is if you get 60 of the 100 senators, a 3/5 majority, to agree. We've had enough debate, let's just have a vote on this thing. Now, intelligent senators have figured out that what this means is that you can, if you're in the minority and you have at least 41 votes, you can stop legislation that you don't like by simply talking it to death. You can effectively stop anything as long as you have 41 votes. This is called the filibuster rule. And as a result, it requires the Senate, for most pieces of legislation, this rule doesn't apply for everything, but for most pieces of legislation, it allows the minority party to stop really dramatic legislation from the majority party. And it basically requires the Senate to get to points of compromise where both parties can work together. The only way that Democrats can enact some of these very radical proposals, like packing the Supreme Court, making New York's abortion laws applicable nationwide, is if they eliminate this filibuster rule. Are they going to do it, though? It's a tough call. The Democrats, I think, would need to have a really sizable majority in the Senate. Something like 55 votes. Right now, they only have 47 of 100 votes, and this election, they would have to pick up a ton of votes if they're going to do it. Because there's disagreement among Democrats right now whether this is a smart move. Younger, more aggressively liberal senators like Kamala Harris, like Kirsten Gillibrand from New York, and others have called for abolishing the filibuster rule because I think of a lack of experience. Meanwhile, older Democrat senators like Dianne Feinstein know what it's like to be in the minority sometimes and in the majority at other times. And Dianne Feinstein has publicly said that she does not favor eliminating the filibuster rule in the Senate, let alone packing the Supreme Court or doing any of these other really radical things. While Vice President Biden has been pretty mum on this, it's pretty clear that he's been pulled in a number of directions by his hardcore base and by the more moderate voters that he needs to attract in order to win election this November 3rd. We will see what happens, but I am skeptical that the Democrats can actually accomplish this. Dianne Feinstein's not the only Democrat in the Senate who must think this way about the filibuster rule. So it would mean that the Democrats would need to have more than just a bare majority in the Senate to change the Senate rules to eliminate the filibuster. And I don't know that they can pick up 5 or 6 or 7 votes during this November election, which is what would be required to change these rules. It's a very important issue. It's something critically important and would allow Democrats to implement a huge swath of their policy, as well as potentially add 2 new states to the union, the District of Columbia and Puerto Rico, which would basically give the Democrats an automatic 4 new senators. So we'll have to wait and see, but I myself am skeptical that Democrats will have the political means to abolish the filibuster. And if they can't do that, then some of the worst of their pro-choice agenda can't really be enacted. I certainly hope that cooler heads among the Democrats in the Senate will prevail, cooler heads like Dianne Feinstein. For that, I'm John Girardi with Right to Life of Central California.